Have you ever heard about a creature resembling the famous Pikachu existing in reality, or encountered the rare beauty of white giraffes and deer? What about marine animals possessing extraordinary abilities? These creatures are so exceptionally rare and distinctive, it's as if they appear once in 10,000 years, and this isn't just an expression. In this video, we're going to explore these and other incredibly rare and fascinating animals that are sure to amaze you. Let's dive in. Pikachu. There is a rare animal in Australia that resembles Pikachu from the anime series. It has the same protruding ears, black eyes, and roughly the same color as the anime character. However, this animal is actually a common brushtail possum, which is not usually found with this specific appearance. These possums are typically darker and have a more coarse appearance. They are active at night, eat fruits and berries, and can be found on trees in eastern Australia. This species is protected by law, and this particular Pikachu possum is under double protection due to its unique coloration. Scientists have decided not to release it into the wild, as it might be an easy prey for predators. They have also kept the location where it was found a secret in order to prevent anime fans from disturbing the animal's habitat. Seneca white deer. There are other unusual white creatures in the world. Deer. In this case, I'm talking about a whole herd of such creatures. Seneca white deer live on the grounds of the former Seneca Army Depot in upstate New York. Like the snow white giraffes from Kenya, these deer suffer from leucism. They're completely white, but their eyes are of regular color. As you've learned from the bitter example of the white giraffes, their unusual appearance makes these animals a desirable target for poachers. Also, white animals are much easier to catch by predators in the wild, but in this case, everything is under control. The herd of Seneca white deer was, for a long time, under the protection of the army itself and was protected by a long and high fence. After the Seneca Army Depot closed, the local county industrial development agency began looking after the deer. The deer are now under the control of a group of volunteers who even try to organize tours to these creatures. For such an isolated group, the deer population isn't bad. There are about 75 of them. However, at the peak of their population, there were about 300 animals, and that's a bit stressful and alarming. White giraffe. We are all familiar with the physical appearance of giraffes, tall with long necks, spots, and a light brown complexion. However, not every giraffe looks like this. A few years ago, a rare white giraffe was discovered in Africa. This was the first time such a sighting had been made. The white giraffe was a female, accompanied by her calf. Such an occurrence happens once in 10,000 years or even less. The scientific community was immediately fascinated by these unique creatures. After observing the white giraffe on several occasions, scientists concluded that the animals were not albinos, as many might assume. Instead, they had leucism, a genetic mutation that causes partial loss of pigmentation in an animal's outer coat. This trait is similar to albinism, except that individuals with leucism have normal coloring in their eyes, while albinos have no iris pigmentation. Unfortunately, the white giraffe pair met a tragic end in 2020 due to the activities of ruthless poachers. However, the female giraffe gave birth to another calf and a white giraffe before their disappearance. The good news is that the white giraffe's son still resides in the Kenyan reserve. Ili Pika. Sometimes individual animals or groups of animals are rare. The following animal is rare as a species as a whole. The Ili Pika is so rare and elusive that the first good video footage of it was obtained only a few years ago, and the first normal photos of the Ili Pika appeared less than 10 years ago. This is despite the fact that the animal was discovered in the mid-1980s. It was hiding for a long time. Outwardly, the Ili Pika resembles a rabbit in some way. It's even called the magic rabbit. Although it belongs to the lagomorphs, it is in a separate genus and family. These animals are small. They weigh less than 18 ounces and are barely 8 inches in length. This elusive animal lives in China on the bare rocks at high altitudes, up to 2.4 miles. That's why Ili Pikas are so hard to find. Besides, their population leaves much to be desired. The species is considered endangered, and currently there are fewer than 1,000 magic rabbits left in the world. Sayola. Did you know that there's a rare animal native to Asia called Sayolas, which has a population of fewer than 250 animals? These cloven-hooved mammals are quite large, weighing about 220 pounds and reaching 6 feet in length. Interestingly, the species was discovered quite recently, even later than the tiny Chinese magic rabbits in the early 1990s. This is surprising because of the animal's size. Even the most reputable and experienced scientists were shocked by such a discovery. They didn't think that at the end of the 20th century, it would still be possible to discover a new unknown species of a large animal. Sayolas are elusive and shy, much like the Ili Pikas, and not many photos or videos of these animals can be found on the internet. Usually, all these pictures are taken by hidden camera traps because Sayolas are unsociable and don't like to show themselves to people. For this reason, scientists know little about Sayolas, their behavior, maximum lifespan, and so on. Flying fish. There's nothing wrong with the population of the next animal of the episode. It has a bunch of different species, a large population, and so on, but I would definitely call this a once in 10,000 years or even less often occurrence. After all, what we have before us is a flying fish. It's not a figure of speech. Look, it actually has wings, fish with wings. Have you ever seen anything like that? No, I don't think so. These sea creatures look very unusual. They seem to be some kind of result of the work of mad scientists, the first ever fish-bird hybrid, but in fact, these wings aren't really wings. Their pectoral fins, they're larger than those of many other fish, allowing the flying fish to use them as wings. A fish jumps out of the water, spreads its fins, and does a gliding flight, like the flying squirrel does roughly the same thing. The flying fish is not able to control its flight, so it often crashes into ships and boats and even lands on the deck, and in particularly rare cases, this pilot can even knock down some sailor. It's already happened. It's worth saying that even though these fish are not able to control their flight, they glide very impressively. They can jump to a distance of 16 feet above the water's surface and fly for about 165 feet, and in some conditions, the flight range can increase to 1,300 feet. But what are all these flights and gliding for anyway? For protection. Thus, the flying fish escapes from the pursuit of a predator. Few animals are able to catch up with such a clever and unusual fish. Strawberry squid. Strawberry squid is an interesting creature that one might encounter off the coast of California or order at a fancy restaurant. Although it tastes like an ordinary squid, its appearance is unique. The squid owes its berry fruit coloring to the special red pigmentation of the skin, which visually makes it look like a strawberry with seeds. Moreover, the creature has different eyes, with one being dark and the other bright. These unusual eyes help the strawberry squid successfully hunt its prey in the twilight zone of the ocean, where only 1% of sunlight penetrates. It lives at a depth of over 650 feet. This berry cephalopod takes care of its safety by using counterlighting to hide its silhouette and match the background, making it difficult for scientists and predators to detect and photograph it. It accomplishes this feat through its photophores, small glowing cells along its body that resemble strawberry seeds. These glowing cells help it blend in with its surroundings, making it an elusive creature of the ocean. Pygmy whale. What do you picture a whale to be like? You probably immediately see a picture of a very large animal, which is dozens of meters long, weighing dozens of tons, leisurely swimming in the ocean, swallowing plankton, making low, long sounds, and impressing everybody with its size. Is it like that? Personally, I picture whales like that too. So this next animal struck me. Look at it. It's a whale. A real one. Not a mini copy of a blue whale. I mean it. In fact, it's a pygmy right whale, and it totally lives up to its name. It's about 16 feet long and weighs 3 tons. That's nothing compared to the blue whale. The pygmy whale is very rare, so rare that scientists don't even have enough data on the species, its population, way of life, and behavior patterns. It's almost unrealistic to observe these whales, either in the sea or from the surface. Pygmy right whales are almost invisible. They release two small fountains, and they jump off of the water for only a few seconds. Bearded pig. I'm sure most of you are seeing this animal for the first time, which is understandable since it's rare and information about it is scarce. After all, who would Google a pig with a beard, right? Unlike common smooth-shaven farm pigs, these pigs prefer to wear a long beard of yellowish-white hair, which sets them apart from their other pig relatives. These creatures live in Southeast Asia and lead a normal pig lifestyle. They are eaten like ordinary pigs, but the species as a whole is not threatened, so there's no need to panic. So, which rare animal surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you later.